Well, there's a little subject that we were discussing together, and that's really interesting, is about regression of some varieties when they are over multiplied. So, as you know, we take a plant, we take a little bit of that plant, that makes either a grafting material or a cutting material, and then we multiply the plant like that. And usually from one plant, you can make a lot of plants, maybe 100, 200, 5,000. What's interesting to see is if you take all the time the material from the same mother plant, you will have a prime quality type of variety. But then if you keep multiplying from the same plants that you are multiplying every day, there's a kind of regression of the variety. You can see it specifically on peace rose. Peace rose is a good example. We have plants of peace rose from 1947. So they are the closest to the plants that are the prime material. But when you see plants, for example, from India or from Australia, plants that stayed and were multiplied from a couple of plants that arrived a long time ago, you can see the regression and the mutation of the variety. Be careful to not mistake mutation and regression. It's the same thing, but basically a mutation can be positive, can be a mutation of color, can be a mutation of climbing, but regression will be the plant will degrade and slowly become weaker and weaker and weaker. So that's why new varieties are important in the market, because they come from prime material, they're being tested, and that's why also prime material is a key for growers. And growers needs to use prime material to be able to have a really, really good quality plant at the end for the consumer. I hope you understood what I said, because it's really technical, and I hope this point is important for you too. So, there's two ways the plant is on the market. There's the legal way and there's the illegal between quotation. The peace rose, we don't control it in terms of other propagator than ourselves. So ourselves, we propagate with prime material, our peace rose. But other growers, we don't have to do anything. We cannot do anything because the variety is not protected anymore. It's too old. On new varieties, what do? We ship material, prime material, to our grower so they can use it for making their mother plants. And then after, those mother plants should not be sold. They should take material from that mother plant so they don't degrade the genetic of the variety. And that's really important, really key. You look for the tag on the variety. A tag variety, usually it uses good material, prime material, to make the new plant. So that's really important between legal plant and illegal plant. You are not buying only a variety. You are buying a variety that you know the name, you know the ID, you are sure 100% that the ID is right, and if the ID is wrong, usually they replace it to you, and you know that the material is the good material. And I go back to that same story, you remember we were discussing that, about the fake Pierre de Ronsard, the fake Loncha Brocheux, that doesn't bloom enough. Well, a real Pierre de Ronsard should bloom during the summer. But that's the point.